I'm just using my hand to make sure that it doesn't come up on the camera. Otherwise, I obviously would have my hand out of the way. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Well, it's that time. We have hit 30,000 miles on our 2019 Honda Accord 2.0 that has the 10-speed transmission. You know what that means? It is time to change the transmission fluid. And rather than pay $400 at the Honda dealer, let's do it ourselves in 45 minutes. Okay, before we get started on our 2019 Honda Accord, I want to thank you for stopping by. If these are the kind of videos that you like to see me put together for you, like, share, and subscribe. Less than 1% of you are subscribed to my channel, and that lets me know, hey, continue to do this. That way I can see how to do things around my house. Let's get to the video. Okay, let's take a look at what we've got here. So I've got a transfer pump. I have a old moving blanket that we lay on underneath that car. I also have a creeper that I can slide under if need be. Some paper towels. Important to this 10-speed is the Type 2.0 transmission fluid. I'll leave a link below for all of the things that I have to perform this service. I also have a torque wrench, a couple of various crush washers, and underneath the car, I've positioned a piece of cardboard. That way we don't get anything on the driveway. So the car needs to be level. And what I've done to make this level is put the front on ramps, so we're super safe, and then the back on jack stands. Now, you may ask yourself, how in the world do I figure out if that's level? You can do it this way. Take a level, set it right there. And there you have it. We are level. So look at yourself situated underneath the car, and let's get started. All right, so let's take a look at what we're looking at. The top of your screen is the back of the vehicle, and then bottom of the screen is the front. You can see that there are two Phillips head screws. Those need to come out because what we're going to do is we're going to remove the metal shroud. And along the sides of the metal shroud, you will see several of these screws. And each one of those screws, you turn 45 degrees and it will pop out. And then what you can do is you can slide that metal shroud backwards and then it will come down. That's going to expose the transmission. And it's also the same shield that you remove when you're changing the oil. And I'll leave the video in the description above. So that way, if you want to check out how to change the oil on this engine, you'll know exactly how to do it. So let's get moving. Okay, we've set the shroud aside. Now we've already warmed up this car, and so it is a little warm under here, and that's exactly what you want. Right there is your drain bolt. So all we need to do is use a 3/8" socket to undo that. Now to keep you oriented, over here is where you change the oil. Right here is the oil drain plug. So this is the drain bolt. Now, I'm going to turn you around. Now we're at the front side of the transmission is right here. There is a small bolt right here that you can actually check the level, and we'll be using that whenever we fill our transmission fluid. And then there is also a fill bolt located there as well. Undo the fill bolt first to make sure we can get that done, and then we'll go and we'll drain the fluid. Okay, now that we've confirmed that we can actually remove the fill plug, so that is loose. This is now loose, and you can see it's starting to drip a little bit. I went ahead and gloved up. I have to be careful here because the wind is coming from the back side of the car, which is that way. I don't want to come in this way. Here we go. There's going to be a magnet on the other side of this. We're going to clean off all of the metal debris. And then we're going to replace a crush washer and tighten to 36 foot-pounds. Since this is a side fill, I'm going to turn it this way, just trying to be extra careful because it is going to come out of there pretty quick. About 4.5 quarts for the drain and fill. Here we go. Just pulling it out slowly so it will relieve some of that pressure for me. All in all, it's not looking too bad. Make sure that I've got that just perfect to catch everything. Here we go. I'm just using my hand to make sure that it doesn't come up on the camera. Otherwise, I obviously would have my hand out of the way. There we are. And that's not too bad. You know, for 30,000 miles, it still has a bit of that red. You can see all of the metallic here that magnet has picked up. So we're going to clean that completely off. See that? While we're letting that drain, I'll replace with a new crush washer. You can see I've gotten that magnet completely cleaned off. And so when this slows down to a drip, I'm going to put this in. We're going to tighten to 36 foot-pounds. Okay, so let's move on to fill it up. Okay, this is going to be difficult to film, but again, this is the front side of the transmission. And so we've loosened up the fill bolt up here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And that's where I'm going to put my pump into to fill it up. Again, it's about 4.5 quarts. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this bolt here. And it even says on the transmission that this is the fill check. And so you'll take that off And obviously, once it drips, you'll put it back in, and I have another gasket in there for that as well. So let's take off this fill bolt. I apologize, it's a little difficult to see, but it is about 6 inches from this bolt here. Okay, fill bolt. You can see it says the same color, so you know you're using the right one. And I'm going to change that gasket out as well. Okay, let's set up our oil and our pump. Okay, I'm going to put the output end of our transfer pump into the hole where that bolt was. And obviously, the other end is going to go into our quart of transmission fluid. Okay, so we're inside the car. We just tightened the fill plug as well as the drain plug to spec. We're going to warm up the car and run it through the gears. And then once it is warmed up, we're going to shut it off and we're going to go and we're going to take off the inspection bolt. That way it will drizzle out and the level is set by letting it drain out until there are small drops, and then we'll tighten that to spec, put the shroud back on, and then we are complete with this service. So I have my foot on the brake, activate reverse, neutral, drive, neutral, reverse, park. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I can already tell it's shifting a whole lot smoother. So let's go check the level. Okay, so now we've got the transmission completely warmed up. We went through all of the gears. What we need to do is we need to take out this small inspection bolt, and that will then dribble out all the excess, and that's how you set the level. Remember, the car, when we first started, we set it level, and so anything that comes out of here is going to be excess. Okay, so that took us about 45 minutes to get everything done. We saved ourselves several $100s. I did not include how you reset the maintenance minder because our car did not indicate that that service was done. We did it because everything we read says on a 10-speed transmission, it's highly recommended you change it at 30,000 miles. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you on the next one.